Hello everyone, this is my list of the top 10 perks in Call of Duty Zombies. I'm only going to include perks from Call of Duty World at War up until Black Ops 3 for this list, because honestly, I can't be bothered with the rest. Coming in at number 10, we have the perk Mule Kick, and it is low on this list because I really don't use it very often, and I see myself literally pick any of the upper choices earlier than this perk. But should I have unlimited perk slots in a custom map or something, or Perkaholic, I don't mind having this. It is just really annoying that you have to cycle through a third weapon, but it really is just extra ammo and you cannot really be too critical about that, hence why it is still number 10. Now for number 9 we have Vulture Aid. Now this is a perk that only appeared in one map, being Buried, and this might be the most interesting perk in terms of features that we have ever been given by Treyarch when you think about it. It is basically Scavenger but heavily nerfed. You also get an X-ray vision of the map where you get to know where everything is, which aside from the box maybe is not really that useful once you get used to the map and just know where everything is. That does get justified when you play custom maps, I would say though. And then you also have the green farts you can stand in to temporarily be untraceable by zombies, which is nice and is pretty crucial, as combining this with the camping with the paralyzer gets you to easy high rounds. So it's a pretty plausible perk and one which I will definitely get for the map for that reason, hence why it gets the number 9 spot on this list. Number 8 for me is Electric Cherry, and this might be controversial for some people, but really I only find Electric Cherry a must-have perk on Mob of the Dead, and on that map is actually pretty crucial if you have to use the Blundergat, as its only weakness is its repeating reloading, and the invincibility that Electric Cherry grants at that moment is crucial. But in any other circumstance, I feel like from this list, if you would get this perk from the Wonder Fizz, this would be the one I would get the least excited about, except for Deadshot of course, but that perk is just garbage. And it doesn't just hit as hard there, but yeah, like I said, it is standing out on its own when you are using it in the right moment at the right time, and in my opinion, that gives it a respectable number 8 spot on this list. Now for number 7, you guys will likely start a war in the comment section for this one, but I have PhD Flopper. Yes, I see the potential of this perk. You do have full resistance of explosives, fall damage, and you can cause explosions through dolphin diving, which is pretty cool. But then I look at when you really get to use it to its fullest potential, and really the only moments it is really helpful is when you run the Mustang and Sally and the ray gun, and really over the years those weapons have been proven to not be so crucial to use. You're just better off going for wonder weapons or just a good assault rifle, and then really on the maps that this thing is available, there are barely any moments you really need it for fall damage resistance. All I can really think about is when you're on Moon, where you're using the pads and the biodome, but otherwise to me, that makes this perk just completely optional. This is all obviously a different story when you're playing custom maps, especially when you have major places where you can fall, then this perk can really save your life, and it is also just low on this list because of the competition that is really going to be fierce at this point. And I do really like PhD, don't get me wrong, but looking at it solely at its competence in the core game, I cannot justify putting it higher than the number 7 spot. So with that in mind, moving on to number 6, this is going to be Quick Revive. Now this is where it is because its essence to me is very situational. On solo, obviously it's an extra life, so it is a must buy there. If I would have judged the two versions of Quick Revive separately, this would easily be top 3, but yeah, like its other version is just not as crucial. I personally still like running it if I'm playing co-op and I still have a spare perk slot for it. Like reviving teammates with the speed it offers makes it really satisfying to be the person in a team with the most revives, and your team will love you for it as always. But really, it's just not that crucial there, so because of its mixed essence, it gets a number 6 for me. Now before we move on to number 5, if you have been watching up to this point, it is likely that you enjoy this type of content, so if you want to see more of this, do be sure to show the support by dropping a like and hit the subscribe button for more. Thank you! Okay, so now for number 5, we have Stamina. This is a perk that when I first played zombies, I fell in love with, honestly. When I think about it, back in the day, I preferred having this perk over Speed Cola. Nowadays though, I feel confident enough about my agility to the point where I don't really use it as often anymore and just prefer faster reload speed. But it doesn't mean that Stamina Up is a bad perk. It's, I believe, variable in what it does every game, but in all cases you basically get longer sprint time and get a little bit faster, and it can be really helpful in certain situations. I always run Stamina Up on Origins with the mud, and it can be pretty clutch to have on Transit as well. Those are the two maps I feel like the perk stands out the most, and yeah, overall it's just a great perk to have. Just sadly number 5 when you normally have only 4 perk slots, so you don't really always get to use it. Now, number 4, as I've mentioned, at number 5 should be no surprise now. Speed Cola is essential to have, especially for me. I always just have this tick to reload at moments where I see fit, when I get a tiny moment of peace, just for sake of being fully prepared when a next horde approaches. So then you can imagine I feel like that I am 1,000 times more relieved about me doing that when I run Speed Cola. It just makes it feel like I can just spam any assault rifle or SMG with barely any penalty because of it. And yeah, I can't really say much more than that about it. It is just a must-have for me because of that, and it is always there as an option to buy, and I always take it. Hence why it is number 4. Just what I see personally more essential than that is the number 3 spot, which is Double Tap 2.0 for me. Now, it is really a no-brainer. Attack power gets basically doubled. Well, it's only 40% of the price of a Pack-a-Punch, and it really comes in clutch at those moments where you quickly need a damage upgrade at the beginning, where the zombies start to become a little bit of a struggle, but you likely do not have enough money yet for the Pack-a-Punch, or it is just not ready with the Easter egg steps, like with Shadows of Evil for example, and for that it really is just a must buy for me at all times if it's available, because really not all the maps have it. Like, old maps have Double Tap 1.0, and Double Tap 1.0 is absolute garbage, but if Double Tap 2.0 is there, I always buy it. Now for number 2, and I think after that number 1 is gonna be absolute no surprise for anybody obviously, but number 2 on this list is going to be Widow's Wine. Now, Widow's Wine is such an incredible perk. It is expensive, yes, 4,000 points is no joke, but it is always worth spending the points if you get to buy it, because it's not always available. But really, if you manage to get this perk, you are so much less likely to die even if you don't have Jug. The spider grenades when the explosive on impact with the zombie just gives you so much wiggle room that it is just almost impossible to die in that situation. And if you then manage to kill them, you get even more grenades, making you continuously invincible for that amount of time, unless of course, well, you do something stupid. But that's really besides the point. Widow's Wine, even more essential than Double Tap and Speed Cola to me, just because of how much it keeps you alive, and comes in at number 2. And number 1 on this list... who am I kidding? It's Juggernog. I mean, what do I really need to say to justify this? Call of Duty Zombies is a game where you die upon 2 or 3 consecutive hits, which is pretty hard. But then upon using this becomes an executive amount of hits of 5. And if Rocked and Shinonuma, that is even more overpowered. It's just perfect how this works in this game like this as well. It's not like some other zombie games where you basically start with this amount of power. Yes, looking at you, Black Ops 4. But instead, you still start weak and still have to earn your way through this level of certainty. And that moment just always feels like what you did to achieve that was all worth it, and to be proud about, and build your confidence to get even higher heights. As if this is one source of power that is really helpful, what else would lie ahead to make you even stronger than that? But yeah, in short terms, you all saw this going. Juggernaut is number 1, and that includes this top 10 of the best perks in Call of Duty Zombies. So if you like what you've seen here, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. If you want more, make sure to subscribe, and as always, I will talk to you guys later.